And good evening, everyone. Welcome to WRAP 15 Sports, and thank you if you're following live with us on the MHS Rewind YouTube channel. Here at John R. Wooden Gymnasium, it is girls basketball. The Martinsville Artesians at 4-1 taking on the Bishop Chatard Trojans, who come into tonight's matchup at 2-0. Eric Burns here to give you the play-by-play call. Glad to be back at the broadcast table for this girls basketball season. We're going to send you to PA Matt Smith for the Martinsville starting lineups. And that was public address announcer Matt Smith and the Martinsville Artesian starting lineups. Like I mentioned earlier, Artesians come into tonight's matchup 4-1 on this early season for girls basketball. Bishop Chatard at 2-0. Martinsville, last time they were on the court, they defeated Bloomington North to get their fourth win in this early season. As we're just about ready to tip this underway, as Marlena Kemp for the Artesians, number 4, will tip it off, and Dorset will have it, gives it up to Gracie Johnson, and we are underway here at John R. Wooden Gymnasium on WRAP 15 and the YouTube MHS Rewind channel. Gracie Johnson scores first. Starts off the scoring early, so the Artesians have an early 2-0 lead. Some contact, but no call on the contact. Actually, it's going to be a turnover. That's on Bishop Chatard's number 13, Zakia Rashid. Bishop Chatard, the Rashid, probably their best player, so keep an eye on her, number 13 there in blue. Nice cut there by Walker. Patience Walker scores. Nice find on the pass there. Walker finishes. So it's an early 4-0 lead for the Lady Artesians. Shot from the corner, no good. Rebound is taken by Chatard, but a steal by Walker. And now Walker will push. Artesians will set up in their offense. Gracie Johnson on point will get it started. Try to get it to Dorset, no such luck. Now Kemp with it. Mackin trying to find someone, finds Walker on the top of the key. Nice pass down low and cannot finish, but gets her own rebound. Still no good. Marlena Kemp had 2 good shots at it. Could not get it to fall. There's Rashid. No look pass to the corner for 3. That one's good. That was number 10, I believe, Mary Borsius, who hit that. And Mackin's going to get called with the travel, so Artesians, their first turnover of the day, gives it back to the Trojans. And check that, 3 was made by number 11, Anna Pruitt. Nice hands there by Kemp, and Rashid is able to get it. Steps in the paint, and that was a travel. A few of the Artesian fans here on the Martinsville sideline called that. And then shortly after, the whistle blew, and another turnover here for the Trojans. Gracie Johnson will walk it up court. Artesians working around, trying to get it inside to Kemp. Walker, she decides to drive, goes up with it. Ooh, cannot get the bucket to fall, but will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. First free throws of the day for the Artesians. That one is off the back of the iron. Have another shot at it. 5 minutes, 40 seconds left to go early on here in the first quarter play at John R. Wooden Gymnasium. That time Walker gets it. Makes one of two. Chatard works it around. Another near turnover there by the Trojans, but able to keep control of it. Hand off, baseline, no good. Kemp had her hands on it, couldn't quite grab it. This time she does. Good rebound by her. And now Patience Walker has it, gives it to Mackin, who gives it a nice feed to Dorsett. Dorsett cannot finish, but Mackin gets the rebound and scores. Bethany Mackin gets her first points on the rebound put back. And some contact, and that will be a foul against the Artesians. It's going to be the first team foul, and that's going to be on number 21, Bethany Mackin. Corner three is no good. It's long, and loose ball picked up by Patience Walker. Walker splits two defenders and gets it knocked away. Loose ball controlled by Gracie Johnson, and the Artesians will reset. Nice feed to Kemp. Kemp from the paint. She scores her first bucket. And that's going to force a 30-second timeout by Coach Fisher and the Chatard Trojans. But a good start here for the Martinsville Lady Artesians. 4:31 left to go here in the first quarter. They've got a 9-3 lead. 4 players have scored. Johnson, Kemp, Mackin all with 2 points, and Patience Walker has 3. Only Anna Pruitt for the Trojans has scored. She knocked down a 3 to cut the Artesian lead to 1. But since then, Martinsville's gone on a 5-0 run. Chatard brings it up. Rashid for 3. It's off the rim, and rebound taken by Marlena Kemp. Looks up to Mackin, finds her, and that's going to be a foul. That foul's going to be on number 10, Mary Borchers. Chatard's second team foul in the half. See what the out-of-bounds play is here for the Artesians. Walker with it, top of the key. And Artesians will set up their offense. Ball's out of bounds, last touch by the Trojans, so Artesians will have it out on the side. Nice feed. Bethany Mackin gets it into the paint, but good defense there by Chatard and forces the Artesians to reset the offense. Coach Johnson in her first year here at Martinsville. Good start, 4-1. Down low to Kemp, off the glass is good. Nice position by Marlena Kemp. Good find and feed from Bethany Mackin. Zakia Rashid with it now. Good defense by Patience Walker, loose ball, and Mackin's got it. Looks up, finds Walker. Let's see what Walker does with it. She tries to cross over, can't hang on to it. Neither can Dorsett, and it's going to be a turnover. Had a possibility there for the Artesians to score, couldn't capitalize on it. And now Rashid with it, being guarded by Patience Walker. Splits 2 defenders, loses it, and it's going to be a travel. And Zakia Rashid is pretty frustrated. Arguably their best player on that team, Rashid. They've played 2 games, so stats can be a little bit skewed and deceiving, but she comes in averaging 14.5 points a game. Also, the Artesians have done a good job on number 15, Anna Winch. Nice feed and nice score there by Patience Walker. And a nice find. And Artesians extend their lead. It's double digits. Anna Winch, she comes in averaging a double-double. She has not scored yet, so Artesian's doing a really nice job defensively here. Good move by Kemp, and a little too much contact there. And that will be a foul on number 4, Marlena Kemp. It's her first team foul, or a first personal foul, second team foul. So each team's with 2 fouls apiece here. 2:42 left to go in this first quarter. Artesians with a 10-point lead early on in this basketball game. Before this, Martinsville JV team got a win as that 3 is taken, and it is good. And that's Maura McGinley. And that shot is off the mark. Patience Walker. Now it's a 3-on-2, but Walker with the steal. Tries to push it up, and last touched by Chatard's McGinley. So Bishop Chatard's only made 2 buckets. Both of them have been 3s. Make this 13-6. Approaching 2 minutes here in the first quarter. Bethany Mackin dribbled to the top of the key, got fouled. I think that's going to be on number 20. And that is Grace Adams, her first. Patience with it. Thought about going baseline. Gets it back to the top of the key. Gracie Johnson drives. Don't know if she was trying to get it to Bethany Mackin or trying to get to Patience Walker, who was cutting, but off the foot of Walker and out of bounds. Turnover there by the Artesians. Martinsville right now, they have not substituted any players. This is a starting 5 that started, and they've so far played the entire first quarter. Get it down low, and they've got steps. Good defense there by Paige Dorsett. That was Pemberton who took some steps. Gracie Johnson will just walk it up court. And that's going to be a steal. Let's see if Gracie can get it. She can't get it, but disrupts the shot. But Rashid with the steal. And no good. Paige Dorsett with the rebound. So Artesians get a big break there. That looked like an easy 2, but good hustle by the Artesians. Kemp with it. Now back to Gracie, and she will reset with 1:05 left to go in the first quarter. Gracie drives, kicks it out to Walker. Walker goes baseline, nowhere to go. And Rashid with it, and she will get the steal, and Chatard pushes, but tried to get the pass to Borchers, but Mary Borchers lost her footing and went down, so ball went out of bounds, and we'll be back to the Artesians. See what Coach Johnson wants to do here. 36 seconds left. Do they work it for one shot, or do they try to get something a little quicker? Mackin with it. 22 seconds now. Patience Walker with it at the top of the key. 15 seconds now. Gracie drives. Gets it back to Mackin. Shoots it from the elbow. It's good. Bethany Mackin with her 4th point. 5 seconds left. Rashid will shoot it from the volleyball line. It is no good, out of bounds, and that will do it for the first quarter. Artesians, solid first quarter. They lead Bishop Chatard 15-6. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back to the second quarter after this.
Our definition of a relationship is being able to look you in the eye and hear about your concern, hearing about your family, hearing about your job, hearing about your aspirations, getting to know you, and positioning ourselves to help you meet those dreams. Now that sounds pretty old-fashioned, but we're not willing to give that up. We're simply not going to give that up.
For all the banking services you need, there's no place like home.
Join the majority.
And welcome back, everyone. WREP 15 Sports. Thank you, everyone, for watching on Channel 15 and also watching live on the MHS Rewind YouTube channel. If you're wanting to follow us live, go to youtube.com, search the MHS Rewind, and the live event will pop up on the YouTube webpage. But we are back here, second quarter. Shot from the elbow, and it's good. That was number 3, Dee Dee Casey, her first points of the ball game. He's trying to set up their offense. Patience Walker with it right now. Just underway here this second quarter here at John R. Wooden Gymnasium. And Rashid with the steal. She'll take it, was fouled from behind. So she'll go to the free throw line for 2. It's Patience Walker's first personal foul, team's third. Patience Walker and the rest of the Artesian defense done a nice job on Zakiya Rashid. Just scored her first point with that free throw, like I said. In 2 games, she's averaging 14.5 points. And that one's off the back of the rim, and Paige Dorsett with the rebound. And that is nearly stolen. Good effort there by Maura McGinley as she really went up for that, tipped it, but could not control it. So Artesians will keep possession of it. Bethany Mackin with it still. Artesians playing the original starting 5. No substitutions yet. Paige Dorsett, long shot from the baseline. No good. Patience Walker keeps it alive. Kemp now with it and scores. Arlena Kemp with the bucket. 6:50 left to go here in the second quarter of play. Artesians lead at 17-9. And nice job by Bethany Mackin to knock it away. And then Gracie Johnson with the steal. She looks up, finds Walker. Walker goes up with it and scores, and the foul. Patience Walker, acrobatic layup, scores it, and will go to the line for the bonus. She's 1 of 2 so far today. This one is good. 2 of 3 from the free throw line for Walker. She's the only one for the Artesians that's been there so far. Good burst of offense there by the Artesians to start this second quarter. Rashid scores. Teams need to try to keep Zakiya Rashid from really heating up. Started out as a freshman at Avon. Now playing for the Bishop Chatard Trojans. And gonna have a foul. I think this is gonna go on Martinsville's Gracie Johnson as the ball was stolen away and she dove for it but could not get the ball and actually drew the foul. So Gracie Johnson will pick up her first personal foul, team's 4th, and as we have the first substitution for the Artesians. Delaney Wolf, number 23, came in for Marlena Kemp. Rashid in the paint, scoops, no good. Paige Dorsett with another strong rebound. And now Artesians have a 3-on-2 opportunity here. Walker will take it herself and score. Patience Walker, the sophomore, really done a good job for freshman to sophomore year. Chatard had a inside, decided to pass it up. Step back 3 is good. It's Moore McGinley. It's her second. And now Patience Walker. Reverse layup, good. Good hustle by her to get down court, then good find. Artesians with a 10-point lead, 5:07 left to go in the first half. And loose ball picked up by Chatard's number 11, Pruitt. McGinley now with it for the Trojans to set up the offense, guarded by Martinsville's Patience Walker. Zakiya Rashid, step back three, I think goes partially blocked, but offensive rebound, no good on the shot. Pruitt with a three, it's no good. Oh, and a hard collision there. Paige Dorset tried to get the rebound, and then Dee Casey came in, and she took a hard spill, but looks to be okay. Martinsville will call a timeout, so good to see the number 3, Dee Kasky. She went up, tried to get the rebound, but took a hard fall, but bounced up, and now we've got a break in the action because of a Artesian timeout taken by Coach Jesse Johnson. Coach Johnson, first-year coach here at Martinsville, came from Clinton Prairie. 4th year as a head coach, had a very successful stint at Clinton Prairie, her previous school. Coach Johnson, very familiar with Martinsville in this area of basketball. She went to high school at Perry Meridian, which is now the newest member of the Mid-State Conference. So now she's here coaching the Artesians after a long and successful stint by Coach Serbone, who now is at Franklin Central High School. So some change here for this Artesian basketball program, and so far this start has been good. But another turnover, and Bishop Chatard will give it right back, but Coach Johnson not too happy. There's been a couple turnovers where it's just been passes just haven't been quite as crisp, and Chatard defenders are jumping in the passing lanes and getting the steal. So I'm sure that's going to be a point of emphasis for Coach Johnson as the Artesians now have it, and they can set it up. Walker with it now. Thought about it. Decides to give it to Johnson. Baseline. Nice feed to Paige Dorset. She gets a block, gets her own rebound, puts it up and scores. Paige Dorset, good hustle there on the boards, gets rewarded with her first points of the day. So Artesians look to be in a 2-3 zone here. 3:36 left to go in this second quarter. Nice job by Bethany Mack to get her hands on it, but Chatard controls it, and she goes all the way. Moore McGinley. And we've got another turnover by the Artesians. Coach Johnson cannot be happy. Artesians, you have a 10-point lead, but turned it over 3 or 4 times here over the past 5 or 6 possessions. And luckily, Chatard's giving it back. That's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow showing the Artesians, so good hustle there by Patience Walker to get her hands on it. Paige Dorset will take a seat, and Marlena Kemp back at it. So Artesians with it in their half-court offense. Patience Walker being hounded by her defender. Nowhere to go, in a little bit of trouble, and finally gets it to Gracie Johnson before a 5-second call. Coach Fisher wanted that 5-second call, didn't get it. Gracie Johnson flips it over to Mackin. Mackin takes it all the way to the lane and scores. And I think Coach Fisher is going to want a full timeout. Coach Johnson excited about that last play. Now the Artesians with their biggest lead of the day, 28-16, a 12-point lead with 2:50 left to go in this first half of play. Artesians had their season opener was a loss against Avon, but since then they have won 4 straight. to be at 4-1 at this point. And then Tuesday, they have their first conference matchup, a big game against the rival, Morgan County rival, Mooresville Pioneers. That is this Tuesday coming up. It's an evening game, obviously. But Mooresville 0-4, but they have played 4 very, very tough opponents. So that should be a good game where Martinsville Artesians in their conference opener against the Mooresville Pioneers here at John R. Wooden Gymnasium. So we'll see what Coach Fisher and the Bishop Chatard team looks like in these last 2 minutes and 50 seconds after the timeout. Artesians look to stay in a 2-3 zone here. Gets it to the lane, flips it up and scores. Moore McGinley really, and got a near steal there. But Moore McGinley offensively, he's got 10 points here in this second quarter alone, 13. She's definitely the leading scorer for the Trojans. Chatard shows the zone themselves. Gets in the middle, Marlena Kim's exactly where you want that zone. And that's another steal by Chatard. Now Rashid with it. Takes it right at Kemp. 3 from the corner is good. Baseline, and it is ball's loose, picked up by the Trojans, but it looks like it will stay with Chatard. Good hustle there by Gracie Johnson. I think she was one of the players in there to tie it up. Pemberton back in the lineup for Bishop Chatard. Shot is up, no good, and Pemberton with it, but lost it. Had the rebound, Gracie Johnson took it away. She's looking to drive, nice feed to Bethany Mackin, who scores. Great feed by Gracie Johnson. And that is short. Paige Dorsett with another strong rebound. Paige has done a really good job there on the boards. Johnson gets it to the middle. Gives it to Walker, top of the key, 3 off the back. Paige Dorsett, another offensive rebound. Scoops it up, no good. Gets her own rebound and fights for it, but it's going to be a jump ball. And it will stay underneath for the Artesians. 45 seconds left to go in this first half. Artesians with a 9-point lead. 30-21 against these Bishop Chatard Trojans, who come into John R. Wooden Gymnasium 2-0. It's only their 3rd game of the season, but 2 wins to show for it. Gracie cross-court pass, now top of the key to Walker. She drives, kicks, strong, and gets fouled. Good job in the offensive glass from the Artesians, especially Paige Dorsett. Paige has 6 or 7 rebounds here just in this first half alone. First free throw is no good. She'll have one more coming up. That one is in and out. Rebound taken by Pemberton of Bishop Chatard. 22 seconds left now. Rashid with it. 3, no good, in and out. Kemp gets it to Walker. Walker dribbles through traffic. She's got 12 seconds. Let's see what the Artesians do here. She backs it out. Gets it back to Walker. Baseline drive, puts it up. No foul. Kemp with it, puts it in. No good. Mackin, it scores! Bethany Mackin with the putback as the horn sounds, and the Artesians go into the locker room with a 32-21 lead. We were going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with some halftime stats right after this.
the majority.
Our definition of a relationship is being able to look you in the eye and hear about your concern, hearing about your family, hearing about your job, hearing about your aspirations, getting to know you, and positioning ourselves to meet those dreams. Now that sounds pretty old-fashioned, but we're not willing to give that up. We're simply not going to give that up.
For all the banking services you need, there's no place like home.
And welcome back, everyone. John R. Wooden Gymnasium. Halftime here with the Martinsville Artesians leading the Bishop Chatard Trojans 32-21. Let's go and do a quick rundown of the scoring. First for the Bishop Chatard Trojans, their leading scorer is Akia Rashid, only with 3 points. Artesian defense doing a nice job on them. Also, D.D. Caskey with 5 points. Mary Borchers with 1. Anna Pruitt has 3. And the leading scorer for the Trojans is Maura McGinley, who has 10 points for the Bishop Chatard Trojans. For the Artesians, Gracie Johnson has 2 points. Marlena Kemp with 6 points. Patience Walker, the leading scorer for the Artesians, with 12 points. Paige Dorset has 2. And Bethany Mackin, who had the putback as the horn sounded to end the first half, has 10 points as the Artesians are up 32-21 here at halftime. So if you're kind of wondering what's going on the screen here at halftime, the post-prom committee is putting a 3-point shot contest. So fans have a shot to pay to shoot a 3-pointer and can win a prize if it is made. That's sponsored by the post-prom committee. The prize I've just been told is a 2-liter of soda if it's made. So a little fundraising here for the post-prom committee. Let's go ahead and take a quick break from the 3-point shooting contest here, and let's take a look at what Eric Meyer had to say with Coach Jesse Johnson on Inside Artesian Sports.
Columbus North, big-time win for your team. It was your second in a row after the victory over Indian Saturday. A very good win for your team, a complete game, how you described it, out of your ball club against a traditionally very good ball club as well.
Absolutely. I think that Columbus North always is very solid. They have a great program in terms of fundamentals and skills of their players. And so to see our kids be able to put a complete game together, to play from, the tip to the final buzzer, was something that we were very proud of.
46-28, the final. The girls get the victory over Columbus North at the John R. Wooden Gym. Again, we talked about it last week, your calling card kind of defense, what you're known for. Again, the defense was great against the Bulldogs.
Yes, we stuck to our matchup zone, which has been really working for us. Our kids seem to really understand the concepts and, our goals out of matchup zone. And I think that, they're starting to really buy into it, especially after holding them to 7 points in that second half.
7 points, second half, and it was the offense that kind of got you well there in the second half of play. You took a close game and kind of put it a little bit out of reach when you had a big run, 12-2, I think it was, to start there in the third quarter of play.
Yes, our first 2 games we weren't overly excited about how our kids came out after halftime and started the third quarter. So we really talked to them about how we have got to come out and reset the tone of the game and bring energy at the beginning of the third quarter, and that's 100% what they did.
When you look at this game, you talk about the energy. It's the defense that are going to key some of the stops for you. What are the things that you're seeing that you really are liking out of the girls defensively here early on in the season?
Our effort is unbelievably amazing on defense. They, not only hustle, we try to get deflections. We're rebounding better. They're communicating better. So again, I think that it just all boils down to them working hard and then putting in some extra effort to, be able to be that tough on defense.
And offensively able to do just enough in that game to be able to take advantage of some things and get the big win over Columbus North. And that's a traditional team. Like we said, Coach McKee does a great job over there. And that has to be a confidence builder for your girls as well. Yes,
I think so. I think they knew it was going to be a tough game coming in. And, I don't know how many of them believed that we would pull it out. But I think that, they what we're capable of. And so moving forward, that's kind of the expectation now.
When you get that contest, who are some of the kids, the players that you really thought stepped up, played well in the game against Columbus North?
I think Marlena Kemp had such a great game. She was all over the boards. She, in my head, she really finished with contact, which I know that's something she's been working on. I think Bethany Mack had a game. She, could score, down low, and she's, again, another kid that's tough and takes that contact. But, overall, I just say kind of our starting five really showed up for that game. And I think that, all five of them were the reason why we allowed 7 points in that second half.
46-28, the final. The girls with their second straight win of the season after the defeat over Indian Creek. Then you come back with your first back-to-back of the year. That's something that you guys will have to do should you get in the sectional. If you want to win the sectional, you're going to have to play back-to-back games and those kind of things. So it's an early preparation for something like that. It's a long bus ride to get on the road to Terre Haute North. And I know maybe a little bit of a sluggish start for the team in what eventually turned out to be a victory over the Patriots.
Yes, we, I think that just it being our first back-to-back game, and I think that, us playing so hard on Friday night, were just a couple factors that made us a little sluggish in that game, but at the end of it, they really executed what we were supposed to execute and got the win. Able
to come back in that one, unlike the contest on Friday night when you guys kind of made a little bit of a run there to start the second half of play and pull away. It was Terre Haute North who kind of pulled away a little bit from you guys, and you had to come back there in that second half.
Yes, and that's what we're talking about, is that energy coming out of the locker room. Again, it wasn't there on Saturday, so hopefully, tonight against Bloomington North, that's something that we can regain.
Defensively against Terre Haute North, they shot a lot of threes in the contest. I think 20-some, as I read, that they shot from behind the arc. You guys played a little bit of zone in the contest, but also some man-to-man as well.
Yes, I think that they shot somewhere in the 20% area from behind the line. So, that was a major factor in our zone, being effective enough in the beginning of the game. And then when we switched to man-to-man in the second half, I think it just helped us, kind of get a little bit more energy and be able to get some more stops.
Like you said, too, sometimes it's the second back-to-back games. It's a long bus ride. The kids trying to learn how to do some of those things. And when a team is settling for three-pointers and you're in that zone, sometimes your activity level isn't as great as what you have. So the switch to man-to-man, obviously a good one in the second half.
Yes, and that's something that I was proud of our kids being, going from zone to man. There's different philosophies and principles that we adhere to, and I think they did a really good job.
In that contest, you have some kids that step up as well. Who are some of the kids that play well for you in the victory over Terre Haute North?
Gracie Johnson came out really strong. She was our little team player of the game, just because she came out 10 points early, and she was really that spark that kind of kept us in that game. I'm not 100% sure what it would have looked like at halftime if she wasn't there. So that's somebody who really stepped up for us on Saturday.
And that was girls basketball coach Jesse Johnson with Eric Meyer on Inside Artesian Sports. You can watch the Coach Jesse Johnson on Inside Artesian Sports on Channel 15. The episode will come out on a Tuesday and will run periodically through the week. You can also find it on the MHS Rewind YouTube channel. So just go to youtube.com, search MHS Rewind, and you'll be able to watch the pre-recorded shows for Coach Johnson on Inside Artesian Sports. Also, Coach Kip Staggs, when the boys' season gets started, going to have the same thing. His shows will come out on Thursday on Channel 15. And then just like Coach Johnson and the girls' show, the boys' basketball coach, Coach Staggs, will also have some of his shows pre-recorded on the youtube.com with the MHS Rewind channel. So make sure you follow those and help support the Martinsville Artesian boys and girls basketball as their seasons get just started here. Boys will get started after Thanksgiving. Girls already into their sixth game, and so far the game number 6 has gone according to plan for Coach Johnson. They lead 32-21 as we get ready to get the third quarter underway. Patience Walker and Bethany Mackin double-figure scores in that first half for the Artesians, but all around good defensive effort by everyone involved on the Martinsville Artesians. When there's a break, I'll kind of emphasize how good the Artesian defense is, and there's another reminder of it. It's a turnover, and Bethany Mackin now with it. Get it back to Gracie Johnson. Tried to attack 2 or 3 different defenders, but now the Artesians will just set up their offense. Page with it. Ball little trouble hanging on to it, but Artesians able to keep control. Gets it in the middle to Mackin. Mackin to Dorsett. Dorsett drives with it, puts it up, and it cannot go. Tried to get the rebound from the ground, could not. And Bishop Chatard now with it. 6:55 left to go in the third quarter, just getting underway here in the second half. Thought about the three, decided not to, and stepped out of bounds. Good defense there by the Artesians to force that. It's Mary Borchers with the turnover. The Trojans were led by Maura McGinley, who had 10 points, their only player in double figures, and that's a big testament for this Artesian defense. Chatard came in with 2 players averaging double figures, and Artesians have shut them down. Paige Dorsett with the rebound and scores. And Paige Dorsett has just done a phenomenal job on the rebounding effort and has her 4th point of the night. But Zakiya Rashid, who has the ball right now, came in averaging over 14 points a game. She went strong that time and will be fouled. But she only had 3 points at halftime. Then Anna Winch came in averaging 13 points a game and 10 rebounds, and she was held scoreless in that first half. So the Artesian defense doing a really good job on both of those players. But Zakiya Rashid is now at the line to shoot 2. She gets that one. She's 2 of 3 from the free throw line. And she gets her 4th point. That last foul was on number 22, Paige Dorsett, her first, as Rashid does hit them both. Nice job by Mackin to get in the middle, cannot finish. Our team's done a nice job against this zone to get into the middle of the paint there, and that's exactly what to try to attack. Bethany Mackin will go to the line to shoot 2. This is her first trip to the free throw line. Gets the first one. So both free throws are good. Artesians extend their lead to 13, 36-23, 5:50 left to go in this third quarter. Close to steps, but good solid defense, and Marlena Kemp with the rebound. Now Artesians are going to push. Gracie just takes it from the free throw line and scores. Gracie Johnson just stepped up to the free throw line and said, if you're going to give me that, I'll take it. She did. Rashid gets it to the corner. Corner 3 is good. Maura McGinley, her 3rd 3-point basket. Mackin all the way with the right hand. It's good. So now both teams kind of trading buckets here. 5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. And we're going to have a foul, looks like, on Patience Walker, number 33 for the Artesians. That's her team's second team foul, as Paige Dorsett will come out, and in her place, Delaney Wolf. Delaney Wolf, the only player for the Artesians to come off the bench. So you have to be impressed with this early conditioning program, and that 3 is taken by Zakiya Rashid, so hopefully she doesn't start to get hot. Mackin trying to get it to somebody. Will get it to Gracie Johnson. Will set it back up. Mackin puts it up. No good. Can't get it. And now here comes the Trojans. Corner three again. It's good. And Moore McGinley loving that corner three. Hit back to back. Little mini 6-0 run by her, but Patience Walker will put it into it as she gets her first points of the third quarter. Another corner three. This time it's not McGinley. It's Pruitt. She's hit 1 3, but did not hit that one. And now the Artesians will attack. Nice pass to Kemp, and Kemp can't finish. And nice defense there by Gracie Johnson to cause that turnover. Paige Dorsett's going to come in for Milena Kemp, give her a bit of a breather. Like I said, you got to be impressed with the conditioning of this girls team, because there's 2 or 3 players that have not come out at all this game. So a 10-point lead for Martinsville, 3:27 left to go in the third quarter. You're watching Artesian girls basketball on Channel 15 and also watching it live on the MHS Rewind YouTube channel. Patience Walker chases, but a missed layup there by McGinley. Nice find, and Wolf can't finish, but Bethany Mackin tried to get on the floor and get the loose ball. McGinley's going to try it again. Good defense, though, by Patience Walker to cut her off. And ball is battled up and down, and Paige Dorsett now with it. Near steal, but now Gracie Johnson will have it. And I think Coach Johnson's going to have her slow up and got some contact. That might be a frustration foul by Moore McGinley. She's missed a couple of open looks after hitting back-to-back three-point shots. Both teams with 2 team fouls apiece. So now Bethany Mackin was guarded by Zakiya Rashid. Paige Dorsett, nice head fake, puts it up and scores. Rashid drives, puts it up, and gets that one to fall. Timeout taken. Could not see who called that timeout. Full timeout. It's Bishop Chatard that called the timeout. So Coach Fisher calls a timeout as Zakiya Rashid is starting to warm up for the Trojans. She's got 9 points in this third quarter, only had 3 in the entire first half. So she's got 12 points, and she's only 2.5 points away from her season average. Artesians did a nice job in the first half of really limiting her, but then also number 15, Anna Winch, is still scoreless according to my scorekeeping. She came in averaging a double-double, 13 points and 10.5 rebounds. But Artesians have done a nice job defensively on her. Bethany Mackin, who came in leading scorer for the Artesians. I'll check that. Patience Walker, the leading scorer at 12, a little over 12 points a game, and then Bethany Mackin with a little over 11 points a game. And those two are your leading scorers for the Artesians so far today. So 2:17 left to go in the third quarter, and it will be Artesian basketball. And it looks like Chatard may show some pressure here, as that's maybe what Coach Fisher called the timeout for, to get this set up. And they back it off pretty quick, so Gracie Johnson walks it up. Patience Walker with it. The team's kind of working around the perimeter, looking to get inside, tried to, they've done a good job of it so far today, breaking that zone, getting inside the paint. That's exactly what they're trying to do now. And Paige thought she had Mackin cutting. And Patience Walker, though, all the way. Ew, cannot get the bucket, but will go to the free throw line for two. Good cut by her. So Artesian there, we're just kind of looking for a good shot, trying to get it in the paint against that zone. They've got a 10-point lead, so they obviously don't need to rush, but way too early to do any stall tactics as Patience Walker hits that one. Gets them both. 4 of 5 from the free throw line so far today, as we are under a minute and a half here at John R. Wooden Gymnasium. Artesians lead back up to 13. McGinley, no good. Rebound taken. And now here come Artesians. A little bit of pressure. Dorsett with it inside and going to get called for the travel. Had a little bit of contact, but not enough to warrant a foul. So turnover there by the Artesians. And Rashid with it, and they'll work it around. Rashid splits two defenders, puts it up with the right hand and scores. You can see she can be a scoring threat, especially in this third quarter. She has proved it. Under a minute left to go here at John R. Wooden Gymnasium. Artesians still with a double-figure lead, 10 points. Nice pass and good finish by Marlena Kemp. Rashid hits a three, and she is having a huge third quarter. She's really keeping Chatard in this game. Walker gets it to Kemp down low. Kemp scores. Marlena Kemp is her size. Bishop Chatard hasn't had an seconds left now for Chatard. Let's see if the Artesians get a final stop. Throws it up, no good. And that will do it for the third quarter of play. They keep the double-figure lead. They've got it 50-39. We've got one more quarter left. We'll be back after this.
Our definition of a relationship is being able to look you in the eye and hear about your concern, hearing about your family, hearing about your job, hearing about your aspirations, getting to know you, and positioning ourselves to help you meet those dreams. Now that sounds pretty old-fashioned, but we're not willing to give that up. We're simply not going to give that up.
For all the banking services you need, there's no place like home.
Join the majority.
And welcome back, everyone. WREP 15 Sports. Eric Burns here to give you the fourth and final quarter of this exciting Artesian girls basketball game where the Martinsville Artesians leading the Bishop Chatard Trojans 50-39. I'd like to thank everybody that's watching live through YouTube on the MHS Rewind YouTube channel. And Gracie almost had it stolen, but almost got fouled too, so no call. Continues to play on. Rashid with a near steal. That time it is a steal, and she's got Zakia Rashid all by herself. Layup is good. Rashid had 12 points in that third quarter alone. So she's got 17. Gracie Johnson pull-up shot, no good. Patience Walker tried to get the rebound, and now here comes Zakia Rashid with it. No contact, no call, and Bishop Chatard will keep it. McGinley with a long three. It's no good, but the rebound taken and scores. Bishop Chatard starting to make a little bit of a run here, as Mary Borchers with the rebound, the putback, and the foul. Marlena Kemp charged with the foul. Borchers only had 1 point in that first half, and finish the three-point play. And now it's only a 6-point lead for the Artesians. So just like that, Bishop Chatard has made this a game with 7 minutes left to go in this ball game. Fourth and final quarter here. See how the Artesians respond. Mackin spins. And we'll see what type of out-of-bounds play Coach Johnson draws up underneath. Walker steps back, shoots, cannot hit it. And here come the Trojans. Nice defense by Paige Dorsett, but Moore McGinley with foul and the team's 6th. So the next foul committed by Bishop Chatard will put the Artesians in the bonus. Artesians with only 4 team fouls with 4 minutes left to go. Artesians work it around the perimeter there. Paige Dorsett had a lane to the basket, but Bishop Chatard got a hand on it and forced Paige to dribble it off her leg. So a turnover, and here comes Chatard. Good defense by Paige Dorsett, and Patience Walker steps in. Gets it taken away herself, though. Chatard now with it, and they've got numbers. Good hustle by Gracie Johnson to slap it away. That looked like an easy layup for Bishop Chatard, but Gracie Johnson came in and knocked it out of her hands. And Chatard will have to run an out-of-bounds play. And a near turnover. Good job by Gracie Johnson. Good defense, really quick. And that's what forced it. And Bethany Mackerel just let that roll out of bounds, so Artesians will get it on their end of the court. Got to travel on Chatard, and some of the Chatard fans not too happy about the call. There was a little bit of contact after the steal by Bishop Chatard, but official said she shuffled her feet after she stole it. Walker with it now. See what Artesians try to do here. And a foul there committed by Moore McGinley, and that should put Artesians in the bonus. Free throw is going to be very important in this game. It's Artesians, they can knock them down. They can really stretch this lead. And in and out. Paige Dorsett tried to get the rebound, got her hand on it, but could not haul it in. And here comes Bishop Chatard with 3 minutes left to go in this ball game. McGinley with it, left hand, no good. Pemberton had it, but it looks like we're going to have a foul on the floor. This might be on Gracie Johnson swooping in and trying to knock that ball out of her hand, and it is. That's number 3 for her. So she's really the only player that's in any type of foul trouble, so keep an eye on that. Rashid with it, loses it, tried to get it to one of her teammates, but it was stolen by Gracie Johnson. Now the Artesians will set up their offense. See how conservative or aggressive Coach Johnson is foul well away from the basket. D.D. Caskey with the foul and team's 8th, so that will send Gracie Johnson to the line for one in the bonus opportunity. First one is good. She's got one more coming up. Her 5th point of the game. Gracie Johnson has done so much more just running the point and defensively. And gets that one to fall. So she gets them both and extends the Artesians' lead 54-49, 2:26 left to go in this game. Can the Artesians close it out? They've led by double figures a big chunk of today's game, but Chatard in the fourth quarter came storming back. Artesians have kind of responded well these last two possessions. One-handed pass, and that's off the mark. So it looks like Coach Fisher's going to put a little bit of pressure here on the Artesians. Bethany Mackin with it. She will get it across half court. Under 2 minutes now here at John R. Wooden Gymnasium. Bethany Mackin thought she might just take it all the way, passes it up, and now Gracie Johnson will reset at the point. Let's see when Coach Fisher, if she has them start fouling, Bethany Mackin just dribbles it out. And Artesians may look to just dribble this out. 1:40 left to go. Gracie Johnson with it. Now Paige Dorsett. And it's stolen. So Maura McGinley with it. And some contact. Tried to draw the foul, but got there a little too late, but forced McGinley to miss the layup. So she will go to the line to shoot two. Timeout is going to be called. 30-second timeout. So Coach Johnson's the one that called that timeout. And Gracie Johnson with 4 fouls, so got to keep an eye on that. 1 minute, 31 seconds left to go in this game. And Maura McGinley, who has 16 points. Actually, no, check that. He's got 21 points and then 2 free throws coming up. So Maura McGinley, the leading scorer for Chatard, but Zakia Rashid in this that third quarter really blew out for a 12-point third quarter total. But McGinley with her 3-point shots has also kept the Trojans in this one. She's hit 5 from behind the arc. Free throw is good as well.
Substitution for the Trojans, number 20, Grace Adams.
Second one is good as well. Chatard's going to show some pressure and contact there, and that will send Gracie Johnson to the free throw line for a 1 in the bonus. Still no double bonus yet. That will be at the next foul.
At the line for the Artesians, number 2, Gracie Johnson.
Gracie Johnson, 2 for 2. Hit her last 2 when she was at the line here in the same situation. Can't get that one off the front of the rim. Now it's a 1-possession game. Bishop Chatard could tie it on a 3 here. 1:24 left to go in the fourth quarter. Ball got knocked around loose. McGinley with it to Pemberton. Tied it up. Gracie Johnson had her hands on it, and possession arrow will go toward stay with Bishop Chatard. I think Coach Johnson was a little worried that was going to be number 5 on Miss Johnson. McGinley with a 3. I think it was partially blocked. I don't know if it was partially blocked or not, but whoever touched it last was on Bishop Chatard. 1:14 left to go, and Martinsville will have it with a 3-point lead. Next team foul on Chatard will send the Artesians to the line for 2 free throw shots. Gracie with it. Splits defenders, gets it to Kemp. Kemp will take a baseline jumper. It's no good. Not a bad shot. Kemp was wide open, and it's stolen. Bethany Mackin with it. Spins, gets it to the bucket, and cannot fall. Gets her own rebound, puts it up, no good. Kemp went out with it. 45 seconds and a foul. Patience Walker is fouled, so she will go to the line for 2. Patience Walker hits the first one. Had 12 points in the first half. Just got her 5th in the second, so 17 points for Patience Walker, and cannot get the second one to go. So a 4-point lead, 40 seconds left to go. 2-possession game here for the Artesians, but Bishop Chatard with it now. Zakiya Rashid with it, being guarded by Patience Walker. There's a whistle. And it looks like it's going to be a foul on the Artesians. It's going to be on Bethany Mackin. So Zakiya Rashid will go to the free throw line for a 1-and-1. So it's going to be a free throw battle these last 30 seconds, I believe. And Zakiya Rashid hits the first one. Second one is also good. 55-53. It's a 2-point game here at John R. Wooden Gymnasium. Bethany Mackin with it. Ooh, risky pass, but Gracie Johnson with it. They're going to double her, and they will foul her to stop the clock. So Gracie Johnson with it. Has a chance to make this a 2-possession game if she can hit them both. She misses the front end of the first one. This one's a big one. This one's still making a 3-point game, so Bishop Chatard, the best they could do would be to tie it on their next trip. She does hit that one. So it's still a 1-possession game for the Trojans. 20 seconds left to go. McGinley, she's been the hot hand with the 3-point, but Rashid has it. It's a deep 3 off the back of the rim. Bethany Mackin with it. She's doubled, loses it, picks it back up. Bethany Mackin still has it. 5 seconds. Ball's loose. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and a foul is called with 1.7 seconds left. Some heart-stopping moments those last 20 seconds as Bethany Mackin had it, lost it a couple times, but was able to regain possession. Bethany Mackin will get 2 free throws. She just needs to really hit one of them. And she gets the first one. And that may just about do it, as Coach Fisher, I believe, is the one that called the timeout. She's going to want to try to talk things over and figure out a miracle game plan here as the Artesians up 57-53 with 1.7 seconds left. As long as there's no crazy plays, crazy fouls, on these last 1.7 seconds, the Artesians should come away victorious. And you have to wonder if Coach Johnson maybe would have Bethany Mackin miss this free throw on purpose. So that way Bishop Chatard couldn't set up a out-of-bounds play. But if you do that, then a foul on a 3-point play could possibly tie this. So you hit this one, you're up 5, and there's really no chance for Chatard to do anything. And it's good. 5-point lead for the Artesians, and they've got everybody back. Rashid, a final heave. It's no good, and the Artesians, they hang on to win it 58-53 as they had a double-digit lead going into the fourth quarter. Bishop Chatard cut into that a little bit, made it as close to a 2-point game. Artesians were able to hang on and win it 58-53 to go to 5-1 on the season. They will be back in action, conference opener back here at John R. Wooden Gymnasium on Tuesday against the Mooresville Pioneers. I'd like to thank the camera crew for helping us out today, Brianna Waltz and Emmy Carroll. Thanks everyone for watching on Channel 15 and also on YouTube through the MHS Rewind channel. I'm Eric Burns. Good night, everybody.